What are three of the keys that you can share with us?
Okay, so number one is the most important. It's basically everything we've already started talking about, which is know your true self. You have to always start with yourself first. You have to be aware of yourself. You have to realize that no matter whatever happens, the only thing in this entire life you can actually control is yourself and how you react or respond to any given situation, person, inside and out, right? Physically, emotionally, know your true self. And that's an ongoing journey. I say often, I don't expect anyone to call me up. And if you do, I would love to hear, I did it. I completely know myself. It's not really the way it's supposed to be. It is forever. But that constant reminder. One that comes to me right now is key number 3, which is stop being drunk on your own thoughts. It's a very powerful one. It's the only one I can say that sounds almost has I'm just going to say it like almost like a negative connotation when I say it that way, right?
Yeah.
You feel it like it jerks you. And I remember a lot of people trying to talk me out of naming that chapter or that key that way. But I said, no,
Yeah.
sometimes we need a rude awakening or a
I
reminder.
love it.
Oh, I
I
appreciate it.
love it because
I
it
do too,
makes you
Lenny.
stop telling the stories that really don't serve you.
Yes, and that's the thing. How often and how easy it can be, no matter what our intentions are. Good intentions. I just got telling my son the other day, very few people in this entire life want to be bad, want to do things that are harmful. That's not really the way, right? For truly a human condition. But how often do we go down a road and we don't catch ourselves and we don't realize that one of the most dangerous things in this whole life is just like we can be drunk or intoxicated on alcohol or substances, we can literally become drunk on our own thoughts and not remember that maybe what we're walking through is not what somebody else is walking through. Maybe we should expand our perspective, see more clearly. And if we do that, guaranteed 100%, and I don't make a lot of statements in life because I am of the Tao, but guaranteed every aspect of your life will improve. Be more calm, be more balanced, parenting, running a business, going to work, whatever it might be, your health. And so that's a super important one. And the last one, the third one that I would bring up is the eighth. So we did a nice little bookend there. And it's key number 8, which is be like bamboo. Again, these phrases, this kind of becoming Jenelle Kim, be like bamboo. I was like, okay, I didn't expect this, but I like it. It sounds mysterious and very East Asian like. It certainly is not, although these principles have been handed down in my lineage, my ancestors did not come up with these phrases. I did. And why I came up with that is because I tend to be a very visual person. In moments, I can kind of visualize something and it helps to remind me and gets me in the
Mhm.
place. And I'll start here. So often, I very much agree with, I think I have a feeling you would as well, Whitney, go with the flow, right? Same thing that I've talked about so far in our whole conversation. Life happens. We can't control everything that happens around us. However, it started to bother me because it felt like, from my understanding, what's been passed down to me in my lineage of teaching and my own experience, what I see around me and with myself, there was something missing in that. Although going with the flow is vital, we also have to be very rooted. And I felt that people were forgetting that. Right. And that's very important to remember first, because if you just go with the flow and let the winds of life take you everywhere, life becomes incredibly chaotic. All of the sickness, emotional, physical, mental. And so when we're rooted like bamboo, as we know, bamboo have strong roots, but also flexible. That's the other key. I remember when I was 19, 20, and it's all about balance. I don't disagree with there are times that we have to bulldoze through, must be rigid in some sense. I'm finding that I'm actually not doing that so much as I get wiser. Older, not always wiser, but in this case. What I started to really feel and experience in my own life and around me, which is where I named it this, is that we must be rooted in who we are, constantly ground ourselves in this life, right? All the things we just talked about, but also how important it is because we feel, and we see this a lot right now, that in order to make a point, right? It's back to that drunk on your own thoughts. We have to be rigid. We have to be strong. We have to bulldoze through. Okay. I'm a martial artist. I get that. But actually, one of the most powerful things in this life is learning to be flexible. I would go so far as to say that it is more powerful to have softness in many ways. It's a lot harder in many situations than to bulldoze through and be so rigid. So just like bamboo, when the storms come and hit, you can picture bamboo can go all the way to the ground no matter how strong those winds. And when the storm passes, it bounces right back. And we're no different. And if we look at life that way, it will just be so much more calm, filled with happiness. Not all the time, but we'll find that much better. So those are the 3 that I wish to share.